Greetings. This Sunday at Westmont, we're going to be talking about something that's very dear to my heart. As one of my mentors has said, Josh, your word is obedience. Yes, I would say that my theology does revolve around this idea of being obedient to God. And part of that is because for me, I think that loving God, obedience is a part of it. We spent time last week talking about this idea of, are you willing to let go? And this week, the thing that seems most appropriate to follow it is, are you willing to be obedient to letting God be in control of your life? I've sat and I've thought and I prayed about, well, God, give me an example from the Bible as to someone who was obedient. And almost in thinking that, realizing, well, pretty much everyone in the Bible was obedient. Some people played let's make a deal, kind of like Gideon. But I came across the story of Joseph. And I looked at Joseph's life, and I see no matter how many times it seemed like he got knocked down, he would get back up, brush himself off, and still have an understanding that God had a plan for his life. He was obedient through all of it. Through his brothers betraying him, through the whole episode with Potiphar's wife, through being forgotten about after he tells someone that their job is going to be restored and asks one simple favor. Joseph is a person who had an understanding clearly of what obedience is. But is being obedient simply enough? Is it simply enough to go griping and complaining about following the will of God? I think there's also an inner joy that needs to come with obedience. I look at the relationship between a parent and a child. Parents, for those of you out there, your kids won't always listen to you. Don't tell my parents, but I think I can look back on my life and say that I didn't always listen to my parents. But there was an understanding that I had that I've gotten later on in life that my parents did know what was best for me. And if I would have simply just listened, if I would have simply just been obedient, that maybe things would have simply turned out better. Again, don't tell them. But it's the same with God. As we follow the will that God has for our lives, there are times that we're going to get knocked down. It happened to many different people in the Bible as they were doing what they were called to do. Look at some of the minor prophets. They were asked to do crazy things. Look at Noah. He was made fun of for building that ark. But it's how these people came back. It's how these people responded, and the fact that they understood that God was there guiding them the whole time. Join us this Sunday at Westmont United Methodist at 10:30 a.m. for our blended worship. We'd love to see you there as we talk about this idea of being obedient and being joyful and having an understanding of what the future might hold. Blessings.